Hi, and welcome back to the channel. Tonight's a new moon. We're going to head out and do some astro. There's some nice clear skies, so it should be a fun night. I'm going to need some tripods. It's also going to be very cold. It's going to be very cold. Tonight we're at Jurokine Coach House. I've been out here a couple of times. In fact, the last time I was out here, I did plan to make a video, but I got here and then realized that I didn't have an SD card for my camera that I used to record the video. So yeah, I was out of luck that night. So hopefully tonight we'll make up for that. The Jurokine Coach House is located in the Wheatbelt area of Western Australia, and the coach house itself was built in the 1800s and it was operational through the 19th and early 20th century. It was used to allow people to stay overnight while they were operating the coaches. So they would stable the horse, the driver, the rider, not the driver. The rider would actually have somewhere to stay overnight too. So while they were still covering a huge amount of distance, they'd be able to set up camp here overnight and have a nice place to sleep and recover, and probably meet a few other people along the way. So I'm sure there's a lot of history around this area. It was actually pretty hard to find any information about that, but I'm sure a lot went on in this area. We're actually right on the road. One of the nice things about this location is that it is right on the road, so you pretty much park up. There is a fence here and there is the coach house, so you can set yourself up here no problems at all, really easily. So yeah, it is a nice place to come out, especially somewhere tonight. It is so quiet. There's a bit of a chill to the air. There's a beautiful clear sky, so tonight is just a beautiful time to be out. So we've just arrived and I wanted to set up my camera first thing. The reason I wanted to do that is this time of year, the Milky Way is rising in the east and it's going to go up pretty quick overnight and then it'll end up setting in the west. Now this time of year it is already pretty high, so I want to get in and take some shots of the Milky Way first. If I leave it too long, then the Milky Way is going to get really high up in the sky and it's going to make it a lot harder to take an image, and I'll end up having to take an image of the sky and then just place it on top. So I'm trying to avoid that, so I'm going to take a shot of the Milky Way first. Now I'm also going to start off by doing a pano, so I can get the pano done and out of the way. If I want to capture just the core a bit later on, then I can do that and I don't have to worry about it being so high in the sky. I can manage that, but in terms of doing a panoramic image, I want to get that done first before it gets too high. So like I said, I want to try and get the pano done quickly. So I've got my camera set up in a vertical position. I am going to take a series of images. I expect there to be maybe 5 or 6 images. I am going to be shooting at 20 seconds. I'm going to do f1.8. I'm trying something a little bit new. Usually I would shoot at f1.4, but I want to shoot today at f1.8 to compare to some of the other images with this particular lens. I am shooting on the Canon RF 20mm f1.4, which has been amazing for astro. So I'm going to shoot this at f1.8 and then compare it to some of the images at f1.4 to see if it makes any difference to the quality. I've got the ISO set to 800. Now I haven't set up my tracker right now. Like I said, we've just got here. I'm worried that the Milky Way is going to get too high, so I don't want to be taking that extra time to faff around and set up my tracker. So I'm just going to do a series of 5 shots, which will be a pano for the Milky Way, and then I will focus on the foreground. So 20 seconds, which is the longest I can leave this open before I start getting some star trails, f1.8 and ISO 800. So that was my first image. I'm going to repeat that. Same settings. I think that actually came out okay. It's a little bit dark maybe, but that could be just on the screen. But yeah, I'm going to do the same settings. I will, I think, take up to 5 or 6 images with the same settings and use that to make a panoramic image. So I will put that on the screen now. I'm also out here with Dave, who you've seen from previous videos. So we've come out here to Jurokine Coach House, and I haven't actually shown an image of what we're shooting yet. All I've talked about is the Milky Way.
Yep.
But you've done some foregrounds?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy with them.
Yep,
yeah.
Especially with the light painting from the cars going past.
The cars really help.
Yep.
Yeah, it's quite incredible really. The way the road goes, the headlights just hit the house and a bit in front of the house. So it actually works really well.
Excellent. I haven't actually tried to do that yet. I've got my
maybe I'll have to drive around for you.
You should. Absolutely. Cool. All right. So yeah, I reckon it's going to be a pretty good night. Yep. Cool. So when I got here, the first thing I did was come and set up our time lapse. So I know that the Milky Way is going to rise really quickly. It's already quite high in the sky. So I wanted to get the time lapse running as soon as possible. So I've set this up before I actually went and did the panoramic images that I was just talking about. I've got my EOS R set up. It's with a 60mm f2.8 lens, and I've been taking a number of shots at ISO 1000, f2.8 and 20 seconds. So the idea is that I can get the coach house in the frame, and the Milky Way should just rise out of the frame. And with the Milky Way being so high already, hopefully I can actually get a decent amount of time lapse before it's no longer in the frame. So fingers crossed. It has been running for about half an hour already, so it has captured quite a lot of images, but I can already see that the Milky Way is starting to edge out of the frame. So it may not be that much longer that it'll be able to capture the Milky Way. But either way, I will put this all together. I'll put it into a time lapse, and here's the time lapse now. I can't actually show you the coach house right now because it's pretty dark. There is a couple of other people here who are also photographing the coach house, so I don't want to be shining a light on there and be a bit rude. So this is the best that I can do for the moment. This is a photo that I just took just then. So it's ISO 5000 just to see what kind of image I can get. But you can see the coach house in the middle there. It's surrounded by some nice canola as well, and that was the reason why I wanted to come out here tonight. Like I said, I've been out here in the past before, but this is the first time I've had the opportunity to capture the coach house where it's surrounded by some canola. And I think that really makes a bit of a difference. It gives it a bit of a nice feel to the image, I think. I'm going to do another pano to do something similar where I capture the coach house and the surrounding areas with the canola as a foreground, and that's going to be my the foreground for the pano of the Milky Way that I just did a little minute ago. So I think it's certainly going to be about 30 seconds. I've changed the lens, so I've got the 24-105 f4 lens on. I was hoping to zoom in to the coach house to try and get some more detail. So I'm going to try and capture some foreground with that lens. It does mean that I'm going to try and go more than 30 seconds. So I'm going to do the panels now, and I'll put that together with the Milky Way. And here's the image. Hopefully those images came out okay. I've done the panoramic of the house and the canola. I've been able to put some light on the canola, but I'm a bit concerned that it's blown out well, not blown out the house, but it's kind of hidden, so there's more light on the canola, not enough on the house. So I don't know how that's going to be when I get in to edit that, but we'll see. That's enough from this spot. There's some other people here. They've been kind enough to allow us to put some lights on the canola and the house as well, so I don't want to be bothering them too much, so we're going to get out of their way and try and find another spot. Okay, just a quick one. We were looking for another location. Turns out that the road we wanted to go down was completely blocked, and also had a "do not go down here" kind of sign on it. But when we were turning around to go back down the road that we just came, we saw a little property, and outside the property was a small tank. So we stopped the car, jumped out. We're trying to be as quiet and as respectful as we could in terms of the lights and not bothering anybody. But we did manage to get a shot. The Milky Way is pretty much vertical right now, so it was timed pretty well. The settings are pretty much the same as what I was doing before, and I've taken, I think, 2 to 3 shots of a vertical Milky Way, plus a single shot of the tank. It is only a small tank, so it is in the bottom right-hand corner, but it is a small tank nonetheless. That was pretty cool, I thought. And I'm going to get back in the car because it is absolutely freezing right about now. So yeah, enjoy the image. So we stopped off at a place called Noble Falls. I was a bit dubious about this place. There's a lot of lights around. There's a pub over the road from the falls. There's lots of street lights, things like that. So I didn't expect there to be much of a chance of capturing the Milky Way. Also, the last shot that we took had the Milky Way going vertical. So I kind of figured by now it's going to be pretty much straight overhead. And that's where it seems to be. But I was being quite surprised. And the shots of the Milky Way that I've taken so far have actually come out okay, to the point where I think it may have actually been worth coming here first, or maybe even coming back here another time. So the way I have the Milky Way, it is directly overhead, it's above, so I've actually shot pretty much vertical, and I can see the Milky Way there. And if I pan straight down, I can actually see the falls. So I'm going to try and take a number of shots and try and stitch them together. I might see if I can just take out the empty sky, and then maybe have the Milky Way just overhead. So it's a bit of a cheat, but I think that's actually going to come out as quite a nice photo. So let's see how it goes. So you can see this is what's on the back of the camera. So you can see there's a lot of light pollution. This scene is only lit by the street lights, and you can understand from that I was expecting there to be a lot of light pollution, which would make it difficult to capture the Milky Way. I've ended up with about 4 vertical shots to try and get the Milky Way in line with the waterfall. So I'm going to try and put all those together, and I will maybe take out part of the sky just to try and get the Milky Way to sit above the falls. So it is a bit of cheating, but I think that's probably going to give me a much better image rather than just having the falls and then a lot of sky and then a Milky Way quite high above. I'll show that in a second. And then I'm going to go and venture across to the other side of the falls and see what kind of image I can get from that side. So I'm not sure if you can see too much from this vantage point right here. There's a lot of street lights around, but I don't think that they're going to be bright enough for the Osmo Pocket to pick up the falls. The falls are just behind me. There's a couple of levels. This is the top level, which is probably the bigger of the falls. They are certainly not known to be large falls. They are quite small, but it is just a nice scene. This is one of my favorite waterfalls. They're easy to get to. They look really nice. They don't have that grandeur that you get from some of the bigger ones, but I still enjoy these particular falls. I'm going to take a shot from here. I think the Milky Way does line up a little bit better from this direction. I am closer to the falls from where I am right now, so I should actually get a better image of the falls and hopefully include some Milky Way in that. It is quite cold right now. You might be able to see some of the smoke come out of my mouth when I'm talking. It is really, really cold, and especially being around this cold water, it's not helping at all. So I am going to take this shot. I may try and venture around a bit further to see if I can get a better image, but this is the shot from here. So this is Noble Falls. You can see all the smoke coming off the water. Just an indication of how cold that is right now. You can see the main falls off in the distance. Unfortunately, with a wide angle lens, they don't look that great. They kind of just fall into the background a little bit, but it is just nice to be out here to be able to take photos of it. Okay, so we just finished up at Noble Falls. That was way better than I expected. I expected the Milky Way to be completely washed out. I don't know if it's because the Milky Way was so high in the sky that it made it easier to capture, but yeah, definitely impressed. So yeah, three places tonight. I think each one of them have been pretty good.
Yeah, it's way more than I expected tonight. I thought we were just going to one location, but turns out we found a few other places, including a tank.
Including a tank. That was a good find.
That was a little bit nerve-wracking.
I still don't know why somebody's got a tank in their front yard.
What else do they have?
Well, that's right. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for tonight.
Yeah, thank you. It's been good.
And thanks for watching, and I'll see you out there next time. Mate, let's wait for the car to go by. When it gets too high, it's going to make it, they move things around. I don't know what I'm saying. Ooh, not much battery left either. Good timing.